Well, guys, it's official. Dodge has released almost all their numbers for the new Dodge Charger EV Banshee. Let's go over the numbers, look at the video, do some conversions, and see what horsepower we are actually going to be seeing out of the Charger Daytona Banshee. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? We are in the office today because literally just 53 minutes ago, Dodge has announced the power numbers for the Banshee. And now they go through the history of blah, 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 but you guys just want to see the numbers. So this is going to be a short, quick video going over it. So the base model, and by the way, this green looks insane. Base model 340 kilowatts, which is 455 horsepower. Guys, that is the base model. Fantastic. So this like silver flare type trim looks really good too. They call this the 370 kilowatt. Now, one thing that's interesting as we go through this, pay attention to the way the car looks, because I think we're going to have a problem like we have now where you can't really distinctively tell the difference between the trims unless they really change something up. So right now they look the same, and I actually have a calculator that we're going to go over here real soon. There is a like lime chrome look color, 400 kilowatts. They all look the same though. There's 440 kilowatts. There's 470. Now, how this works is it looks like they're going to do this through direct connection. I'm kind of speculating, but then again, I'm kind of not. You're going to be able to unlock these through your dealership through direct connection. It's simply like a software upgrade. But you got to remember too, depending on the car you buy, the 340 kilowatt base trim, that's the base trim. Then you can upgrade it to 370, 400. Then you have a 440 kW trim, and then you can upgrade that to 470 or 500 kilowatts, which maxes out at 670 horsepower. Absolutely insane. You got to remember, the base trim will only be able to handle with its components up to 400. Then the 440 kW trim is going to be able to handle power up to 670. Like the chassis, the frame, whatever you want to say, the drivetrain components will be able to handle up to that much. And then we have the 800 volt SRT Banshee. That right there is a power level. And I'm going to assume it's probably 800 horsepower. And then you have stage 1 and stage 2, which will be probably 900 and 1,000, maybe 950, 1050, maybe 950, 1100, somewhere around there. Now you guys are probably wondering, what are the horsepower bumps in here? Can we convert the kilowatts to horsepower? We absolutely can, and we can also convert kilowatts. We can speculate the kilowatts here instead of the horsepower and kind of see as well. So 370 kilowatts, let's go ahead and type that in. 370 kilowatts is 496 horsepower. And then if we do 400, so that's a pretty good bump, right? 400 is 536 horsepower. So the maximum amount of horsepower you can get out of the base trim is 536 horsepower. And if these cars are all-wheel drive, that's actually still incredibly impressive. Now, the 440 trim, remember, that is going to be a trim. That's probably going to be like your SRT trim, right? Kind of like the Scat Pack, the 392. We're looking at almost 600 horsepower. It's very close. They will probably market it at 600 horsepower. And then 470 will be 630. And then finally, your 500 is going to be your 670. There you go. See, this is how they do it. Now, 500 kilowatts. So is this, let's look at the difference. Let's look at the difference in kilowatts. From the base trim to the next trim is 100. From this trim to the next trim is 60. Is it going to be 60? So we can speculate already. So if we do 560, that's 750 horsepower base. And honestly, that kind of makes sense to me. 750 horsepower starting out all-wheel drive with probably a boatload of torque, because they're not telling us the torque. A boatload of torque is insane. So going off of how they do these bumps, it's 30 kilowatt bumps. So 30, again, 40 to 70, 30. So let's do a 30 bump. So 560 to 590. We'll go ahead and bump that. That's 790. And then you go from 590, it would be another 30 kilowatt bump to 620. Now this is where I don't think that's going to be the case. 831 horsepower, no, 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 no. It is not going to be that much. I think from the jump from 440 to 500, I think it's going to be to the 800 volt. It's going to probably start, again, probably at 600. It'll start at 600 kilowatts, in my opinion. In my strong opinion. It'll start at 800 horsepower. It'll go up by 75 kilowatts, and it'll be at 900 horsepower, and it'll go up to 750 kilowatts, and we're looking at over 1,000 horsepower. Now, what's going to make this a lot more unique is obviously the styling, as we looked at all of them. The styling is going to make this unique. That's the thing that's going to personify the electric cars, is the way that they look. Notice how the handle, it's flush. That is what's going to personify electric vehicles from each other, because all of them are going to end up making the same amount of power. What's it going to look like? What are your customizabilities? And then they show us the interior a little bit here. It looks, look at that. It's so fast, but it looks absolutely incredible. Let me slow that down for you guys. Playback speed, 0.25. Let's go back. Look at the interior. There's a power button. Guys, I'm going to be flat out honest with you. If the interior that was at like the SEMA show or whatnot, or not the SEMA show, but if the interior is close to final production and what we've seen already, if it looks like this, this is literally one of the best interiors on the planet. I can't believe Dodge has gone this far with their interiors, because they've been harped on about quality literally their entire life, basically. And they are stepping it up. The interior in here is phenomenal. And it makes me want to get one really freaking bad, because you spend most of your time on the inside of the car, and then you also have a vehicle that's very capable. Now look at something that's quite interesting here. There's a track here, which means this will be a track-capable car. So the suspension for the high trims of the Banshee are probably going to be fantastic. It's going to be a do-it-all kind of vehicle. Very, very awesome looking interior. I cannot wait. The power numbers have been released, and we don't know the final horsepower numbers, but we can kind of guess based off what I was doing with the kilowatts. I'm thinking over 1,000 horsepower. So let me know what you guys think. What are you speculating in the comment section down below? Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. That's it with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.